Of course, this is happening in California.
Celeste?
I'm Shannon Kessler, but I'm going to give my time to Celeste, who is a current student.
We're not doing that. You're both here.
I'd like to remind you that you're not in violation of the Brown Act. To give us extra time, shortening our time is a borderline violation of the Brown Act. In fact, you could have changed this item. You could have moved it to any other point. You could have moved it earlier in the meeting, and that would not have violated the Brown Act. And in which case, you wouldn't have had to worry about staying so late.
I guess you're done.
Okay.
Celeste.
Hello, my name is Celeste Diest. I am 17 years old, a junior and track athlete at AGHS. Most importantly, I am a woman advocating for the renewal of female rights, which recently has been overlooked and disregarded. I implore all of you to help put an end to this current injustice. Recently, I went into the women's locker room to change for track practice, where I saw at the end of my row a biological male watching not only myself, but the other young women undress. This experience was beyond traumatizing. I must add, he is not changing in our locker room because he's in his track clothes, dressed and ready to go to practice at the beginning of the day.
What?
Therefore, there's absolutely no reason for him to be in any locker room, let alone the women's. Adults like yourself made me and my peers feel like our own comfort was invalid, even though our privacy was and still is being completely violated. The individual who identifies as female has XY chromosomes. Biologically, this makes him a male. Because females have XX chromosomes. This is basic biology.
Okay, please wrap it up.
Yeah. I just want to ask, what about us? We cannot sit around and allow our rights to be given up to cater to an individual that is a man who watches women undress and is stripping away female opportunity that once was fought for us. Sadly, we have to try and regain our rights again. I hope you put effort into the restoration of our school safety. Thank you for serving our community.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm a concerned citizen. My boys did go to Arroyo Grande High School and since graduated, and I have two wonderful grandsons. It came to my attention that there is some awful confusion here with our school district, that we're recognizing things that are just not something that I'm accustomed to in my years of growing up. Of course, we all grew up in this board, I'm sure, with Mr. Rogers teaching us, and not with what we hear today. Watching what's happening here on campus with the children that are choosing what they want to be, not what they're naturally born to be, is very disheartening for our community to represent. Let's give them an opportunity, but in their own way, a gender neutral zone, because there are so many kids being affected in such a negative way. Now, when I was a young woman and I was in a locker room, I was changing in front of women, but I was actually almost assaulted in a female locker room by a man.
Please finish up.
So I'm gonna finish up. But the problem is that we're not finished here. We have to continue to raise our voice to stand for equality for everyone represented. We can separate things that are a choice other than things that are natural. So we have to make a distinguished decision here. And that's where I'm going to stand, is on the decisions you will make and the decisions people make with their bodies. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Powell. Thank you for your time. I am really challenging you to be heroes and stand against the unjust and unconstitutional laws that Gavin Newsom has dictated, that I know you guys are trapped in, and hopefully we can stop this insanity here and now. We need you to lead, be a district to lead California away from this insanity. Girls need their spaces. They need to be safe. And that we do not need to, buy in or feed the delusion of children that actually need emotional help. We need to help those kids, but we also need to protect our children. That, all kids have the exact same rights. No child has more rights than any other child. And I am looking forward to the next election period. And I hope you guys will step up so we can find some really great leaders in our community to lead us out of this insanity so we can get back to common sense and critical thinking and get rid of this woke mind virus. And thank you, Mike Fuller.
What a mess. And I can't believe she said that. Wrap it up, seriously? But just in case you didn't know, thank God this is happening.
The Department of Justice will not sit by when women are discriminated against in sports. This is about sports. This is also about these young women's personal safety. I've met many of these women throughout the past weeks and months, and what they have been through is horrific. We're not going out there. We don't want to be suing people. We want them to comply with the law, and that's what we're doing. So yes, Minnesota, California, multiple states. No boy will be undressing in a girl's locker room. No boy will be walking in a woman's restroom, and no boy, when we're finished with this, will be beating young girls in sports. These young women many of them have trained, since you were in elementary school for your sport? Riley, when did you start swimming? 4 years old. 4 years old. They have trained their entire lives. Some of them have lost scholarships. They have lost regionals. They have lost state because of boys. I don't care if it's 1. I don't care if it's 2. I don't care if it's 100. It's going to stop, and it's going to stop in every single state. Not only that, Bill, we want to restore the records of these young women. These women lost records. One didn't go to regionals, one didn't go to state, all because of a boy. All of these records should be restored, not only in Maine, but around the country. A lot of this around the country is being taken away from young women now because boys are competing in women's sports. And it's more than that. It's a safety issue. They are completely changing clothes, getting nude in young women's bathrooms. Try being the parents of these young women. It's ridiculous what they're doing. They're going in the restrooms, they're going in the locker rooms. Our young women throughout this country should not have to go through this. And under President Trump's directive, we're going to fight to keep women safe and women winning in women's sports throughout this country.
It is pretty shocking
Not even
that
a close
no
call,
women.
Dana.
It's shocking to me that no women in the previous administration came to the same conclusion. Like, I don't know. You fought for Title IX initially. Why don't you fight for these girls now?
And that's what we voted for. Common sense. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. God bless this young lady for her courage. God bless you and your family. Catch you on the next one.